matalanga sambala wata karabu. Wata karabu, wata karabu, wata karabu walele. Oh, wata karabu, wata karabu, wata karabu mama. Wata karabu, wata karabu, wata karabu. Oh, wata karabu, wata karabu, wata karabu. Wata karabu, wata karabu, wata karabu walele. Anitale samale gobe geniste no pera. Anitale gomara ruwa takul fesip talia. Anitale goraye ruwa takul fesip talia. Wata karabuye mata kelim alekevu. Mutugi waja itaga marufu mutugi waja. Ululu mutugi waja itaga marufu mutugi waja. Wata karabu. Oh, wata karabu, wata karabu, wata karabu mama. Wata karabu, wata karabu, wata karabu. Anita medimara matalanga sambara wata karabu lele. Wata karabu, wata karabu, wata karabu walele. Anita medirajin matalanga sambara wata karabu oh oh. Wata karabu, wata karabu, wata karabu. Oh, wata karabu, wata karabu, wata karabu. Wata karabu, wata karabu, wata karabu walele. Oh, wata karabu, wata karabu, wata karabu la. Wata karabu, wata karabu, wata karabu. Mutugi waja itaga marufu mutugi waja. Mutugi waja ya junubin silibu my life Africa. Yaudana wari matakelim wana masuma. Lasima wari matakelim ita masuma le. Hey hey. Wata karabu, wata karabu, wata karabu ah. Wata karabu, wata karabu, wata karabu. Wata karabu, wata karabu, wata karabu walele. Wata karabu, wata karabu, wata karabu walele.
I am deeply, deeply sorry. For whatever reason, it just kicked me out of the studio. And I believe there is brothers with thought that it is unfinished. I'm going to post the link right away here because it is going to be a new link. So you guys can come in. If you guys are still awake, you want to finish your thought, specifically, deeply, deeply sorry for brother Lam who just came in, Gablimani of Takashmo. So something went funny here. So yeah, the link is here. Please come in and let us wrap it up together. It is still the same topic initially, but the conversation become very interesting. We are talking about everything from A to Z. So for those who join us, we started this topic earlier about coronavirus and corruption in Republic of South Sudan. We touch it. We talk about what is happening, things that the government failed to do, and how they are using our people. Testing for corona is supposed to be free, but they are collecting money from people. So In the government hospitals, it is $40 for the test. In private location, it is $80, and there is other places it is $150. And we elaborate a little bit about it على أساس إنه المهية بتاعت عسكري مهية بتاع an average person is about 1,500 South Sudanese pound, which is something less than $2. So how somebody will afford على أساس إنه to pay for corona tests? And we did talk about how the government is corrupt. They use dam al-biji from the international organization like World Health Organization. They appoint their own relative, and through a report بتاعت Al Jazeera, the Minister of Health handpicked about 500 employee, and they pay them anywhere between $450 to $1,500 monthly. That is a lot of money. Also, we did touch how the government is using the system, and people within the government institution, they issue fake corona report for people who want to travel. So they will just, you pay them money, they will give you a certificate that you are a negative coronavirus, you have been tested and you are negative, so that you can travel and so forth. So I don't know, people are having trouble with the link. Derinda, I am sending you the link through the messenger. You can come in, and if Agot, you want to finish your thought, that will be wonderful. Brother Lam, I am back here, so please come in. Let us wrap it up. Deeply sorry for the inconvenience there. Yeah. Hey, Brother Lobot. Did I pronounce your name correctly?
Yeah, sure. Lobot.
Lobot. Welcome. Good to see you.
Thank you.
You are here. You have been following the conversation. And I hope we took it somewhere. It become... anyway, I think it is a healthy debate. And we need to brainstorm together as people of Republic of South Sudan. What can we do to make things better for our people and for us and for generation and generation to come? So pleased to have you. I believe it is first time on Let Us Talk. You have been following the conversation. I will give you the podium because I was here for almost 5 hours. So come in, please. Yeah.
Thank you so much. Actually, I didn't follow everything at the beginning. I started, but it's very late. I'm in Italy right now.
Okay.
And when you started the topic yesterday, was a bit late, and then I just went to sleep. Yeah.
So you slept and you wake up and you found me still. I am talking.
Exactly. I went for mass. We finished mass. Now I came back to my room. Then I
Fantastic. Yeah, I believe you had the tip of it with regard to what is happening. The government is doing with the corona money resources that have been allocated by international community. So mismanagement, embezzlement of the money, issuing a fake certificate that will say the person is free of corona without testing them, and also the money that allocated to upgrade one of the center in Juba to make it coronavirus center, to be equipped with ventilators, with IC unit to take care of the critical cases. It never been done. So also we learned through this report the Minister of Health, she handpicked 500 individuals so that they have to work at those centers. Of course, they get highly paid, an average $450 to $1,500 a month. So this is a lot of money for somebody. They are unqualified. If they would have been, they would have appointed doctor, nurses, or people that are practical nurse. That would have been great, but very unfortunate. She handpicked those people. And also we learn, as you have seen through social media, already they start administrating corona vaccine, as Dr. Riek Machar showcased it. So he got his shot, and definitely the fat cats are the one going to protect themselves. And then don't be surprised if you heard that those vaccines end up in Uganda, in neighboring country, in Sudan, because they want to make money. So their concept is about making money. So instead of serving the general public, they will start selling it. They will start putting it in black market. Yeah. So this is overall, that was our initial conversation. And then those brothers, they came in, brother God come in, and those of Daniel, so they have a different perspective. We dissect a little bit, but we are still within that line. So glad to have you, and come in. What is your input?
Thank you. Actually, what I can say is I'm sorry about what is really happening in the country. No normal person can imagine what is really happening in South Sudan. And when people with the ideas come together to share, to come out with some important points, then they are not heard. It's hurting. It's hurting. Not only for you, but for very, very, very many South Sudanese who are working day and night to look for peace, justice, and prosperity for all. No, and this is our goal. Yesterday, I was listening to a video clip of Paulino Lokudu, late the Archbishop.
Archbishop, yeah.
Exactly. When the journalist asked him, what is his role about peace, justice in South Sudan? And he said he's still active. No, he was, no, because he was interviewed. And he said it does not need the Archbishop to go to the road and start demonstrating and say, we need peace, we need justice for the people, stop corruption, stop this and all, no? But all the process that they have done, they have started preaching long time ago, not him alone. Many, many, many preachers from memorial, people have been preaching about equality, peace, love, justice, unity in South Sudan. But he said one thing, that the leaders have failed to adopt the words that they have been listening, the words that have been preached to them. And this is really something that we South Sudanese, we have to embrace and take it as our responsibility. Every citizen in South Sudan has the role to play. Exactly. A responsibility towards peace building. Now, talking about this mismanagement of the resources, no, it is alarming. It is alarming. Mismanagement of resources. Leave just this one that is given by the, you can say, the World Bank or the Ministry of the
World Health Organization,
World Health Organization,
another NGOs. Yeah,
exactly. about taking care of the situation of the coronavirus in South Sudan. First of all, I would like to thank God because coronavirus in South Sudan is not like where I am right now. And I think God has helped the people of South Sudan, because if Corona was to enter there really in a very terrible, can say manner, like what is happening in South Africa,
in Italy,
in Italy,
America,
here, in Spain and US,
yeah,
going to be very dangerous. What is lacking in South Sudan is the sense of community. We can say a common goal, the sense of common goal among our leaders.
yeah,
Everyone going to power, sorry to say everyone, but majority of the leaders go to power in order to use the public resources for their own benefit.
Yeah.
Leaving the majority of the population not to get anything. And this is dangerous. It is alarming. One day, a friend here asked me, he said, but your leaders are traveling all over. They're able to go to other countries outside Africa. But why is it that they don't learn? They see good hospitals, they see good roads, they see good facilities, where they go. Why they don't learn from this? Why are they being used in this modern era of, we can say, creating of conflict, while the resources are going, when there is conflict, and we have, for example, the resources, the oil, then
we are bleeding our resources.
Exactly. Yeah. This is the point.
Yeah.
And I could not answer. I say everything is about the ego, no? Our leaders, sorry to say this, but majority of them, they have really the ego at the center, instead of being people-centered, working for the people in order to elevate the life of the people, to move together as a community, as South Sudan together. And I am not surprised that the Minister of Health employed people who are not qualified. How many nurses, how many doctors are in Juba or in South Sudan who are not employed? There are very many South Sudanese who are not employed and they're in Juba. And then you go and do this, you just go and handpick people because they are from your place or they are your friends.
As they said, bird of the same feather, they flock together.
Exactly.
So if herself she's not qualified, how she's going to appoint people who have the knowledge? So better I have to bring people of, we are from the same club, so whereby we can just mess it up. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah. This is alarming. This is alarming because really, when you employ, and this is the logic, when you employ somebody who is not specialized in something, the outcome will always be horrible.
Yeah.
And this is it. Yeah. You employ somebody who is not specialized in what you have given him, the outcome will not be good. And to matters to deal with the health issues, you cannot employ somebody who is not qualified.
Yeah. Yeah.
Because this is like doing something against your people. Okay, you employ somebody who is not qualified in health issues, then he treats your people. What will be the outcome? And somebody was responding that, yeah, they are doing like that because their children or their family, they are not getting the treatment within the country. And this is dangerous. This is dangerous.
Yeah.
About getting some vaccines in the neighboring countries and all this. This is obvious. This is obvious. If the people are not, if the leaders are not people-centered, how the resources are distributed to the citizens will always be very difficult. They will try all their possible means. If you go to Juba, you are able to get things of the hospital, let's say drugs or some other materials that are written for the government of South Sudan, which is to be given to somebody in my village in Kajokeji or in Jongole or in Wau or in Barakazal, all like this. But you find it in a clinic of somebody who is related to the hospital staff of the government,
Yeah.
and you have to go there. You have to pay a lot of money.
Yeah.
And this one really, it beats the logic. This person who is working there in this big clinic is somebody who has studied. He's a doctor. He has studied. He has vowed. He was sworn in to serve the people of South Sudan. And at the end, he goes and removes all the things that are to be given to the poor, to the citizens, to the needy. Then he takes to his clinic. Recently, our young, talented musician just died because he could not be rescued in the hospital.
The
Blood was not given to her. And all these things really create, an alarm or awareness to the people of South Sudan about the mismanagement of resources.
on that note, just let me say this. What kind of country in 21st century in the capital you don't have you don't have an emergency unit that run 24/7? So if somebody got severely injured, they are bleeding, they have to wait overnight till the next day, so that that center to clinic to open, to be available. Seriously, yeah, go ahead.
Yeah, it's alarming. It's alarming, really. Then one important thing, one message also I got from the video of the Archbishop, the late Archbishop Paulino Lokudu. He talked of
have mercy on his soul.
Yeah, amen. He talked of leaders who goes to position because they just want to loot, they want to destabilize other people, they want to conquer a group of individuals just for their own benefit. And this is dangerous. This is dangerous. And I think this is one of the things that is affecting us, the South Sudanese communities. If we have a common goal, why our leaders are to be in power, then our country will move on peacefully, with the love, with the unity. Someone coming from Abyei towards the end of South Sudan, border of Uganda, Nimule, is seen as a South Sudanese without any problem. But if the people on top are the one creating this confusion, then the whole country will be in confusion. Now I'm going to talk about the youth of South Sudan, the role of the youth of South Sudan. We saw some youth with their movement called Anataban or something like that. No?
Yeah.
They went to the streets and they were demonstrating and all that and all. Reactions online were different, no? Some were supporting those people because they are made of different, you can say, tribes and different reasons in South Sudan, no? While some were against these young men and women who are coming up, to look for justice, coming up to voice their message, their discomfort, about the government, what they are doing, how they are not able to channel the resources to the citizens. What is lacking among the youth is the basic formation that is very, very, very essential in our, in peace building.
Yeah.
Yesterday, I don't know if it is true, I saw in Miraya, they talk of 15 people were killed I don't know. There was a clash. I don't know in Gokurial or something like that. No?
With
Exactly.
Nuer and the Dinka. Yes,
Exactly. 15 people were killed.
I saw the video. Yeah.
Exactly. And I have been asking some brothers, but exactly who is giving these people the guns? Because the guns that these people used are not archaic, you can say old guns, maybe of 1980, 1990, or early 20s, no? Some of these guns that these people are using are guns that are just of recent, no? Of recent. Guns that of recent. Taken to South Sudan by the government in collaboration with some other West countries. Taken there. Then after that, these people do disarmament, they put in the TV, we have done disarmament. Then later on, they distribute this gun to the people. Then our youth use these guns to kill themselves. Of course, to handle a gun, you can testify. You people were in Australia, I don't know, in Canada or in the US or where. How people who are learned can even misuse a gun if they are not well trained on how to handle a gun. Then now you go to my place and you give somebody a gun. Somebody is not trained on how to use the gun. Is not trained on the rights of a human being. We can say the human rights, how to treat people, how to use a gun, how to protect people, and all this. And then you give somebody a gun. Of course, the person will use the gun wrongly. And we keep on saying we are still a young nation. We are a young nation. We are a young nation. Our president, for those who are not aware, is now 16 years in power. 16 years in power without election. 16 years in power, and these 16 years in power, many people have suffered. And we have been talking of is a young nation, is a young nation. Until when? South Sudan is not a young nation. It's not a young nation. Who is giving these guns to the youth of South Sudan? Who is giving these guns to the people in the villages in order to raid and kill themselves? Coronavirus in South Sudan, from the beginning of coronavirus, has killed, I'm not sure whether it has reached 100, but more than 100 people have been killed.
The government said 150 so far.
Exactly. A number of people killed by gun are more than the number of people killed by coronavirus. And the government or the citizens of South Sudan should be worried of how the guns in South Sudan can be stopped or can be controlled instead of fighting, looting, eating the money of COVID. We should not ignore COVID because COVID is real. COVID-19 is real. We continue fighting on how to overcome the situation. But the most important thing is the peace in South Sudan that everyone is longing. In 2019, I was in the refugee camps. I went to look for my family, not only my family, but I went to look for many other people, to be there in solidarity with them. It's horrible. It's horrible. How I grew up in the refugee camps in Uganda in the early 2000s. But now the young generation that is subjected to this suffering in this modern era, something that can be stopped by our leaders. It's really horrible. It's horrible how people are suffering in the refugee camps. In Uganda, in Kenya, in Sudan, in Central Africa, in Congo, and in Ethiopia. This is not what we expect at this moment. Recently, we have read something published by Number One Citizen, talking about a woman, I don't know, 9 months or 10, something like that, pregnant, she escaped, raped from these people who are taking care of cattle, who moved from, I don't know, Jongole, and they moved to Kajokeji. And this woman escaped the rape. This is a young man who didn't go to school. he has a gun. He's
Yeah.
taking care of the cattle. He displays the people, and he has the gun.
Yeah.
He wants to rape the woman. He takes their produce in the garden by
Yeah.
force. And yet the government is there. We have the governor. We have the president. We have the commissioner who is newly installed in Kajukeji. Why this group of people, less than 10, or we can say less than 100, they have guns and they have kettles. They displace a large group of people, but the government that has over 1,000 or I don't know how many soldiers are not able to remove or to clean or to discipline these people, not to continue disturbing.
It is.
And this is
It is part of the strategy.
exactly.
Hang on tight, brother. We have a couple people who join us.
Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you so much for the time. Thank you so much.
Before you take your leave, just what I want to say. We have a message, and our message. We want to work on mobilizing the international community. You in Italy, do your part. Start with the church member, start with your teacher, start with whoever, talk to the parliamentarian. We need to put our voice as we mobilize against the National Islamic Front in Republic of South Sudan. During our war, we want to start the same campaign, because coupled with something else, this is the message that we want to advocate for it. Great, Hakimo is here. All of us, we are blogger on social media. We want to work on it. You are in America, you are in Italy, you are in Australia, I am in Canada. We will do the same thing to sensitize our people, to get them ready, so that to put pressure on this government. By the time, and we encourage our people to start civil disobedience. Don't go to work, because they are not paying you anyway. They are paying you pennies, right? So 6 months without salary, what is it? What are you losing? You are not losing anything. If they want to fire you, let them fire you. Okay, so stay home. We start with civil disobedience gradually to see how many people respond to this message of civil disobedience. Then, with exception of the essential, those who are working in medical field, nurses, we encourage them to continue to go to help our people with little chloroquine, whatever is going on. But those who are janitors, those who are doing non-essential, stay home. Okay. Then by then, we elevate them to the level of getting out for popular uprising, and by then the international pressure will be mounted already on the regime. So therefore, when people come out, they are watching them, how much they will do. So this is the campaign. We want to carry it from wherever we are. We start mobilizing our people. Go out there, talk to your parliamentarian, talk to your politician, talk to your church member. This is how we started gradually, so that to get this message there. Brother Nderinda is my co-host from Zoom TV. We are a sisterly network. We work together. I will give you the podium to carry the conversation, to welcome Hakimo and to ask him limaza, while I have to go and make myself a cup of coffee, but carry on with the conversation. You guys feel at home. We have a lot of room to accommodate you, unless if you felt you have other commitment to go, well and good. But Hakimo, good to see you. I'll be listening.
Thank you so much, Brother Krikuju. Hakimu, welcome, my brother. And
Thank you.
also, let me also give my welcome to Brother Lobut. This is a conversation, of course, Hakimu, Mingibel, you were here. You know what was going on. Basically, we're talking about the corruption, the level of corruption that's going on in our country. If you, I'm not sure whether you heard me earlier when I came on. When I came on earlier, my idea was about talking about the corruption, even though this one got highlighted because of the corona. The donors are complaining about their money. They don't know where the money is going. So they start complaining. But actually, almost everything in South Sudan is corrupt. So there is no way in my own mind to talk about the prosperous of South Sudan without really talking about corruption on every single layer of the governance. You know, even including the border riders, there is corruption. So everywhere is corruption. My people learn. You know, when you think somebody's sitting at home at night, they wake up in the morning, they know one thing for sure. If they don't get out of the house, ويمشي يلف في سوق جبل كده ولا في كونيو كونيو ولا في سوق جوبا, they know they will never have any money. The question now becomes, what is it that you're going to do? كنت في كونيو كونيو ولا ترى في سوق جوبا ولا في جبل, that you're going to do there, you know, that at the end of the day, when you come back home later, it ain't قروش في جبل. What is it? Where did you learn that from? Somebody will say, no, you're going to hustle. Hustle should know. You know, you cannot just hustle, suck it, kid, and then come back home with 10,000, pounds in your pocket. So these are all form of corruption, because under the right system, right environment, right condition, I shouldn't say, I'm leaving home this morning and I'll come back later in the evening with 10,000 pounds in my pocket. I should be leaving home, going to do the work, do the proper work. 30 days, I get paid. If I go from home in the morning and I come back with some money in my pocket, that means I've left my work during my break. I went to the bank and I withdrew some money to bring home because my wife or one of my children wanted that the cash. Okay, that should be the right thing to do. But everything that seems to be going on there is completely different. So that's where the discussion stamped earlier by Brother Grikuju was about the report by the donors complaining about the corruption. So the conversation is here, Hakimu, Brother Hakimu. You've heard Brother Lobot. You've heard other guests who are here. I'm just filling in a little bit for Grikuju until he comes back. But you're welcome, Brother Limaza. This is the question. We need the answer. We need the answer to this question. Come in, brother.
All right. Thank you so much. I was following the show. Hold on, let me. My curtain here a little bit messed up. Let me go this way. I was following the show from work. I work at second shift, night shift. I just comment, but I'm so happy I came home. The show is on. I know the topic is about coronavirus, and then from coronavirus it shifted a little bit. But I'm very honored to be here, and thank you, brother, in the show from
Italy.
You say some nice word, and I respect the other speakers. Let me go direct, because mostly I don't speak much on people's show. I speak in my show the way I like it, but on people's show I make it very quick, because I know on my show I'm free man. I can speak as much as I want.
Take your time.
My brother, I'm Red Army. I fought. I respect SPLM. Okay? I fought. Not because of contribution or voting. I fought my entire life in the bush. I never get that education. Some of you got it. Even though you contribute, some of you went to school and you finish your school and you become intellectual. But what about me? Where's my incentive? This is my question first. Forget about the coronavirus. Hey, some of us end up in the bush in a young age. And some of us has been insulted by other individuals. But I took it. I'm very proud. I contribute for this country. My problem here with this coronavirus, first of all, SPLM is a party. We need to blame the leaders. Please, by God, I want to say it clear here. SPLM bring a joy to all of us. Even though if you're in Khartoum, Kangobudu Medina Kurnuk, the problem here is the leaders. Let's condemn the leaders. Let's condemn the leaders who are running SPLM. But this party bring joy to all of us. If I'm mistaken, forgive me. When we used to fight, Wallahi Lazim, every Medina Gobudu, every Jurubi Murta. Let's be honest here. Dindara. But those leaders who lead that SPLM, they are corrupt. Because when I hear in social media, SPLM Makwes, no. It's not SPLM, it's the leaders. I want to make it very straightforward here. Our leaders, after Dr. Jongren gone, Yajama Haraka Shabia, I know if mistake ketir happen. All this corruption happened in the bush. Let me tell you, Danara. Never happened in Juba. This corruption happened in the bush. Nepotism, travelism happened in the bush. I was there. I wish when the country class is independent, I wish all the leaders, the soldiers, will be trained and reformed. This is my thought, okay? Because a gorilla mind, Danara, because some of you will say, we contribute. You contribute with money. I contribute by seeing it, by fighting the gun. I see what the corruption is there. But for you, you don't see it. Just you send your money, you send your ideas. The corruption is start within the Haraka Shabia in the bush. The tribalism start within the bush. How many generals from Equatoria do you see in the bush from Equatoria? Only captain and down. What does it mean to you? Tribalism.
So just to continue, I just need to make sure you clear this for our viewers.
So what I'm
saying,
saying,
when you were saying that the all this corruption started right from the bush, okay? So in your experience in the bush, were you able to say with the effect that some things there was some sort of a solution for it by then, or it just kept on, nobody's doing anything, it just kept on coming?
Okay. Let me explain to you. Who are you going to say it? First of all, nepotism, tribalism within the sector in the bush. Let me tell you, Dendera. Arabia Tain, a lorry will come with 20 lorries from donuts. Okay? Will come with all the Janjaro, Rus, Z. This lorry will enter Kaya border. This night, this lorry will go back. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. I'm telling you the truth. I saw it when I'm a soldier. Lorry. This lorry is coming for all civilians. All the lobbies about civilians. That time, civilian could be Arianin, Libas Mafi, Ginta Serto, because they can get donors, can give the food. When this food arrive in the border of Kaya, the same night is going back where it came from.
Why was that?
Huh?
Why was that? We know that's corruption, but what was happening?
The leaders, they keep on for themselves. I'm telling the truth. If I'm lying, God is my witness.
So the lorries come to the border just for the show, for the media, or for the donors
Okay.
to see that the cars are here,
No.
only fully
But-
when the people are here. But nighttime, the media, the donors are gone. Everything is gone.
Night time, the lorry go back where they came from, Uganda. Eyewitness. So the corruption is start direct from the bush. But let me tell you, if Garang is alive, even though if Garang eat a little bit, Makaman is the leader, he suffer. Okay? For me, I respect Garang, okay? If Garang is alive, regardless if he's from Denka, but Garang have principle. I will respect him. He managed all these gorilla, all these battalions, all these chaos. But we have a bad luck. We're cursed. Let me tell you how we curse, my brother. Where's Nuba Mountain? Where's Blue Nile? We're cursed. I'm telling you. We're cursed. Nuba Nile, Nuba Mountain, they have a blood in this country. But I don't want to go there. This is not part of the topic. I'm sorry. Forgive me. But I'm just telling you, we're cursed. We will never recover until we come back to our knees and respect others people who participate in this country. So those leaders, they will inject themselves. Like earlier, our sister will say Juba is beautiful. Juba is beautiful. Juba. Juba.
Limaza Juba is beautiful.
Juba is beautiful. That time, Sakana Sokon Tagunum for Ostakira, nobody will come with a gun and kill you. Tell me about Juba, beautiful. Let me be honest to you. Those individual is beautiful for them. If you went from America, from Australia, Canada, yes, you have money. It's good for you. It's good. Now you're talking about you because you got the money. What about the others? And I'm telling you, I don't want to come to social media because I don't want to stress. My sister, 7 days ago, was beaten almost to death. I have pictures I'll send to you all. I'll send to Zoom TV. Was
Wow.
beaten to death because of her plot.
Wow.
Her own plot. I'll send the pictures.
Sorry.
Tell me Juba is beautiful. I don't want to come just because my sister was beaten, but she's lucky. How many people disappear in Juba? How many of them disappear? Tell me.
Every day.
But I'm so lucky she's alive. I will say thank you, God. But thousand of people disappear in Juba because of this issue of blood. And I want to conclude here. I don't want to go too much because I want to talk in my show as much. I will talk in my show. I will come with this topic in my show about what's happening in Juba. So let me conclude here because I will give some people other chance. Equatoria, who ask for separation, they have a right to ask for it. But we need to work so hard for it. I'm not against separation, but I'm against our unity of purpose. We Equatorians, when we come together, we agree separation of Equatoria will happen within a second. And I'm not against separation of Equatoria. Okay? I want to make it clear here because I don't talk about it. But if I start talking about separation of Equatoria, you will see. You will see I'll bring the whole Equatoria, even it's not intellectual. They'll come follow me. This Equatoria independence will happen. But at the end of the day, I will tell my brothers of Equatoria, our unity of purpose, our unity of cooperation must be done. Not only individual will call for it. All Equatorians have to come to social media and say, yes, we're going on. But we have a lot of work. I will support their ideas, but I will never support them physically. Let them keep with that ideas. But we have a lot of work to do it. We need to unite for purpose so that we can get to promised land. So thank you so much. I'll end my topic here, my comment. So if I hurt somebody's feelings, please forgive me.
Let
forgive
me Let me say this before you take your leave, Brother Hakimu. This is your home, and let us talk. This is the place that we encourage to come and express ourselves. You did an outstandingly well, and you took us back historically. I was listening. I was away from the screen, but I was listening to you. You talk about your history with the SPLA, and the corruption started there a long time ago, and it continued.
Yep.
But we have to admit it. You know, those guys, they did their part, but they don't have what it will take so that to be the statesman. So in most of with the rebellion, when war is over, there is those great leaders, you know, they provide them whatever they need. They respect them, they recognize them, give them all the special privileges, and allow the youngster, people who are educated, they are prepared to be statesmen. But very unfortunate, generalat بتاعكم الجيتوا معاهم من غابة, they insist على أساس إنه they will come and يبقوا وزارة خارجية, يبقوا whatever, سفراء وكلام بالشكل ده. That is why they mess it up. But still, it is our time. Before you go, my message is, let us make this unity attractive for all of us, للجنوبين كله. Okay? بعد كده مع الcorruption اللي انه your sister been beaten, women been raped, land grabbing, مش عارف ايه. لو اذا حاجات ده بقى في الدولة بتاع institution اللي انه بوليس ذاته ما انه مجموعة واحد ولا قبيلة واحد, national security, not one group and so forth. حاجة اللي انه بيمثل موزايك بتاع جنوب السودان. Why Equatorian are gonna go away al assassinate to start somewhere? You know, still there is people who will continue to call for it, but if it is peaceful, like Juba Rajatan is a bita zaman, okay? People who lost their land, well, Kanun, bigger fit dawla bita Kanun, resetting everything. There is so many people are coming in. Lakin it is our collective responsibility to work on making this South Sudan beautiful, attractive, will accommodate all of us.
Okay, I want you to give me best 30 seconds so I can go. I wanna respond to Itaka. Ana Bugulu SPLA is great when they're liberating the country, but the leaders are bad. Ya Jama, makare kina understand between leaders and Haraka Shabia. When we used to liberate countries, we used to liberate towns. What is the reaction of all of you guys? I said the corruption started in the bush. Yes, those leaders right now who are leading the SPLM, they're bad. Okay? Like in the how many times do you guys hear? How many of you are happy? Like Khartoum. I'm just saying these leaders are bad. Okay? They're bad leaders. Okay? Please, don't take me wrong, okay? When I say it, I suffer. Okay? I never finish whatever I want to finish in my life. Yajama, there's corruption within the SPLM. Lakin, can you respect that party? The party is not the person. We need to change these people who are leading this SPLM. Regardless. So anyway, and then for Patricia, I want to answer Patricia here.
That's okay. Can you ignore it? I will address it.
Okay. Thank you
very much.
Thank you.
Thank you for being very civil.
Thank you.
We appreciate it.
Thank you.
Brother Lam, too bad you came in, everything got interrupted.
Yes.
We are hanging on in the studio. Patricia, let us maintain our respect to each other and let us have a civil conversation. We have to disagree to agree, but We don't have to be abusive to anybody. Just make your argument stronger. Brother Lam, you know, glad to have you. We start this conversation on Easter night, and your contribution was very effective. I appreciate your wisdom. I'm happy to see you again, and you have been following. I will give you the podium. What is your take? What can you bring to this conversation, and what is the way forward? Because we are moving forward anyway for better South Sudan. If it didn't happen today, this message, some people will review it, will come and grab the baton and carry on. The podium is yours. Please come in. If you can make your camera more stable.
Yes, is it okay, my camera now?
Yeah.
Yes.
If it's okay, that will be great. Because I'm just woke up and I'm so delighted. I'm very delighted to be with you. And again, I would love to thank those who are the viewers and those who are listening. I want to separate it the same meaning, but without viewers, they know what can make this show stand. Therefore, that the people will make this show attractive, and greatly thank goes to the blesser, the host. I don't want to mention the host name. It's a great job and it's a blessing. It's a blessing to South Sudanese. And therefore, I love all the topics that you always come with. As you said earlier on, here is where we have to socialize and discuss our matter or things that are matter to us in a very professional way, not here point finger on one another. Come with your own view. You are now here with us. And therefore, if any view that disagree with you, doesn't mean your presence is not matter. Your presence mean a lot. Your word mean a lot. Therefore, I haven't come to, because as I said, brother, I just woke up, I'm attractive. Could you just give me a little bit outline? Because in order to move in according to the topic, but I already have some view about it, but could you, I request a little bit of your time, just outline a few lines about the topic in order to not to branch out of the topic. Thank you.
100%. The topic was about the coronavirus and corruption, Republic of South Sudan, because already there is a report been filed that the donor, the international community, they are not happy with the way how their money were spent. Corona test for South Sudan, because we are a poor country by definition, by the GDP. So testing is supposed to be free, but they are charging people money in Juba. It rated between $40 to $150 per test. So a military personnel making 1,500 South Sudanese pounds. So this is less than $2. This is their salary. How such individual can afford to make a corona test with $40 US? Also been reported that they are corrupt. They use people within the Ministry of Health. They issue a fake corona certificate to people who are traveling. So without testing, they will issue a certificate that you are negative. And that causing spread of the corona also, because they pay them money, they pay up to $400 per certificate for those who can afford it. Then of course, those are the fat cat that can afford to pay in US dollars. Also, report referred to the Ministry of Health. She handpicked 500 officials to work with those NGOs. They pay them braided between $450 to $1,500 a month. Okay, those 500 employees were being handpicked by literally, because even if they distribute it as a quota, giving whoever bring 15, bring 20, so you know, this is a corruption by itself in progress. Also, the report confirmed that there is a center that been dedicated to be reconstructed, to be rebuilt, so that to treat coronavirus patient. But very unfortunate, this center, till this moment, there is no intensive care, there is no ventilator, even access to accommodate patients, it is not there. So the donors are not happy how their money being used. Also, on top of that, there is something going on that they are using, they have to bribe, you know, people within the government of South Sudan, so that to give access to those organizations to come in. And sometimes they block them, they reject them. And also, if somebody working within any entity with those NGOs or with the World Health Organization, they start criticizing the government or telling them, you know, this is not right. So they threaten them to kick them out of the country, or, you know, they threaten them. So, and even some people were being asked from those NGOs were being asked to leave the country. And when they come with the contract or whatever, so they are those individuals, those people who are within the position of power, they have to be paid something commission on the side. Imagine you are a father and somebody want to come and help your family and help your kids, and you are asking for a bribe to give you something for your own, like a kumtok, what they said in Tongmonjang, before providing that service to the public. So this is where our conversation started. We will carry the conversation. We have another network called Zoom TV, whereby we will take the whole corruption as a subject, including all aspects of it. But tonight we decide to come to talk about this, something related to coronavirus. That was the conversation where we started. Many other brothers came in. They have a different perspective. And in the studio with us, the guy with the brown and dark shirt is a new brothers from Italy. He came in, he gave his perspective. And they're in the next to you there is my co-host from Zoom TV. We work together. So just to get you familiar with whom are there. There is somebody in the studio. I didn't see the name.
That's
so.
Ethica.
Oh, Ethica. Okay. Brother Ethica is here as well. So I believe you have kind of insight now. I will give you the podium, bring your perspective before I go back to Ethica and Brother Ndirinda and Brother Lobut. So I believe now you have kind of insight.
Again, I would just express to brother and sister and the panelists, it's a great topic. At the same time, you know, whenever we're silent, then nothing can come to us. As it said in the Bible, knock the door will be open. I think this is a part of the procedures. Having said this, the topic about COVID-19, before I get into it, I would advise sister and brother, keep yourself safe. The virus is real. Therefore, regardless of corruption, yes, the corruption is all over the edge of the house, and it's not something that is achievable with no sincerity or honesty. For me, I would just answer in a way that even on this social media, there is corruption. And therefore, sometimes we have to be careful when we're carrying with this. I remember last time, I remind us last time, I said, Ya Jama, forgive me, I will collectively pick any piece of the word that will make me communicate. Because my father, Junubi, lost the language. And therefore, someone, my sister, questioned me. When I trying to mean by this, nation is a symbol of identity. And that identity, you can't just borrow the language and you use them. I can treat Arabic Juba as a copy of real Arabic. The language that we use, I call it, is a language that I'm borrowing.
Yeah.
Therefore, instead, before independence, we could have just even think what we could be proud of, rather than thinking of to consolidate our identity and create some kind of belonging, which sometimes when we communicate to each other, we understand, because it's something from our backyard, rather than using all this borrowed thing, and then we trying to say we got the language. That's what was behind of I said, my father Junubi lost the language. Therefore, when I say something wrong, be there to forgive me, because I lost my father tongue. And
Not your mother tongue or father tongue. Yeah.
Yes, which is Junubi. Dear brother, I trying to put something, and therefore help me to understand what I'm trying to tell you.
Yeah.
Come to due to COVID-19 corruption, I just view they start vaccinating people and they're running us. Unfortunately, due to COVID-19 corruption, it is a culture of dishonesty. It's a culture of greedy. Sometimes when you're trying to put your view of it, there will be. But we are here to help one and to speak on behalf of the voiceless. But what I'm just feel, even though I'm going to contribute about this, my contribution is I would appeal to those NGOs who dedicate themselves to a certain environment in order to help humanity. If they could channel those humanity instead of them being in counter, because when you help somebody who does not understand what you are doing to them, it's difficult. Could you support all the activists who call for equality? Could you channel that help to those help on the social media who crying out, let the system to be fair and transparent? And then when we get the result, that system can be utilized.
Yeah, keep going on.
I think it's frozen.
Okay.
Constitution. The country has gone on, and sister, corruption will be crying. We will cry out, and the corruption will not be solved. But I love the idea we campaign to utilize the system to bring in the new constitution, and this corruption will go away. Let me answer this coronavirus. What happened to Tanzania president? The one of Tanzania who opposed. Therefore, if you oppose, if you oppose the corruption, and then you will be alienated. If You don't campaign. In the other hand, they accuse each other, but the same people are accusing themselves. They're the one promoting the element and are the same inventor of the element. If you criticize and educate people, the understand here, brother and sister. I'm not confusing the topic. I'm trying to say something. As it said in the Bible, there's somebody who will have there is a kind of gift. The other one will speak with a strange tongue, but there is somebody who will understand. Let me speak that strange tongue to you. Let us focus on achieving the equality and a campaign to remove the system. When we remove the system,
It dropped off.
Yeah.
I think you might need to bring in Ethica until he comes back.
Sure. Ethica, you have been following the conversation. The podium is yours. Please come in, bring your perspective.
All right, thank you so much. First of all, again, it's nice to see you guys. It's been a while. I actually enjoy being in this forum all the time, as usual. It's
You're
very
welcome.
intriguing conversations and productive, and I love that because this is what people gain knowledge and correct if there is any wrong. We go forward from there. I just wanted to add a little bit on that input of what earlier spoke, of course, about the COVID-19. I mean, it's really sad and tragic in another way that the COVID-19 have been taking lives in South Sudan as we speak, but there is nothing else from the regime is done proper that can help and assist the elders. Because remember, this disease, it always target the elders mostly, and then the vulnerables who are maybe having medical issues like like diabetes, heart problem, and other stuff. And we've seen in the West that these people are the most vulnerable people, and then the elders, and then now the young. So it's just varies everywhere. But in in the country there, of course, the regime is not caring until when they begin to get hit by this COVID-19, then they begin to kind of see that, hey, we need to do something. And now, even with all that known, there's a lot of their uh, leadership was lost because of the COVID-19. They did not even did their best to do something to give awareness or work hard to make sure that this disease will be eradicated or be contained in somewhere. And you could see from their behavior is always they ask us like, we don't have money, giving excuses. Even they have failed the medical health in the country, so there's no even health care over there, and the poverty is extreme. So everything is just in shambles and destruction, and that defined the.
You're breaking, Ethica.
You hear me? You hear me?
Yeah.
yes,
Yeah, I said I disagree with the brother earlier for one point. He said the corruption is a culture over there. I don't think the corruption is a culture because South Sudanese were not corrupt in the past. Because if you look in the past, there were some people who know how to govern, but the problem is the SPLM did not respect the people. They used the people to come in, and once they came in, they began to isolate people who are really ethical in their behavior, ethical and all that. So I believe that this is called that behavior more than a culture. We can disagree in the philosophy or in the determination, but it's the like they are insulting this ethics itself, like that governs the trust. Because right now people begin to lose trust every time, every day, with this regime and with everything that they are representing and they're showing, and that shows it to you that we are now in a condition where there's no other ultimatum, but people have to do whatever possible. And then there was something else uh, uh, you mentioned. I think you said about the people must rise over there and make civil disobedience. It sounds good, and I like the idea. The idea is perfect, but the problem is there's a question about it. In a country where human right is violated, day and night, where crime against humanity has been taking place, including the massacres, the rape, the displacement of people. People they don't even have security to start with. This regime cannot even secure security, like put security as the main focus to them. Instead, they are the one who are causing this pain. They're causing this kind of tragedy and abuse. So how could you believe that the people could do something? Because the people even are afraid for their life right now. That's why you see them in United Nation camps. But what we can do is, like, I like the idea. Said people have to work outside and speak for their behalf over there, and that's the only way we can do it. But we also have to we have to come together. We have to solve the issues that is causing our communities to disintegrate, because right now there's a disintegration in the country, and one of these disintegration, it starts with what's the regime represent and what is trying to maintain and what's trying to avoid to address. Those things are the reason why, like, person like me, who are 100% for separation, because the way how I see, there is nothing they can offer. And then the communities who are not able to accept or admit there is a mistake, like earlier Brother Hakima mentioned, and with all due respect to him, I know he's not here, but he is listening. I want to remind him, I was like, why I asked him the question earlier, he replied me. I told him the SPLM from its foundation was corrupt from its core. Going back to the even foundation of SPLM, it was built on a manifesto of tribalism. And then later in the time, it evolved, and it kind of it switched itself in an image that they are for nationalism, for the country of one Sudan, but at the end it came up to show the people that they are actually anti anyone that is non-Dinka. And sadly, with all due respect, I have to say the facts. And that's why we look back on that. But in going back to the point of what's going on in the country with all these failed healthcare, failed economy, failed security, failed leadership, because at the core of this SPLM has nothing to give or to offer to the people, only misery and death. And that's one thing I could see, that the others who are speaking out is better than to be silent. So here I put my point.
Thank you. Brother Lam, I will bring you in because you didn't finalize your thought. But before I give you the podium, what I'm trying to say, I believe sometimes we curse ourselves, direct or indirect, because if you have a child that doesn't listen and you continue to curse him, oh, you will never listen, you will never follow guide. So now it will stick, and mentally and psychologically you are impacting that child negatively. Okay, so because you keep blaming him on every single thing, you never give him the credit, you never encourage him to come positive. Therefore, he will just, oh, I have to be a disobedient child, so I have to go and do my thing, however it is. Okay, so now this message precisely, just I want to say this to Brother Decius. Generalization, it is a bad thing. And still, in this platform, we will continue to advocate to make South Sudan better for all of us. Okay, give everybody the benefit of doubt. Let them prove you wrong. Okay, then you will say, yep, regardless of the wrongdoing you did in the past, now you are committing it again. So therefore, this is a self-evident. Everybody deserves a second chance. And I believe those communities that we keep accusing them, they destroy the country, the whatever, we need to pull the good one, because within every single community, there is a lot of good people and there is a bad people in every single tribes in South Sudan. Okay, I cannot claim al assassino my entire tribe, mafiu haramia, mafiu mujrimin, mafiu rapist, mafiu killer. Okay, no. Maybe the percentage will vary from one group to another based on their upbringing, based on other things. But at the end of the day, let us advocate for good so that the good can override the bad. So, Brother Lam, you are putting your ideas, come in. I will give you the chance to finish your thought, but also quickly to Brother Charles Itahili. Please, we are having a civil conversation, so we don't want to take anything personal. If you have evidence that Odysseus is involved in corruption with his father, I don't know who is his father. This is not our topic, you know. But also he's here, he's trying to express himself, to add his voice, to criticize what is happening in South Sudan and what is the way forward. This is what we are working on. So if there is anything personal.
Sorry for the internet connection.
Yeah, I will allow you to come in before.
Sorry for the internet. Yeah, I got the internet issues. Yes. Thank you, brother, the panelists, for giving me this opportunity. As I say early on, the element is corrupt. Sometimes it's good to use a different terminology to say things. Like the word said, everything is corrupt. Like if you say, what promotes to recruit one illness, which my brother mentioned earlier on, said is only focused on certain communities. The one give that such a job because South Sudan is not a land of one mother. There are so many mothers outside there. Such a behavior is a corruption, and that when I say the corruption is something that is a culture. I'm not dispute the way you may be viewing things and the way I may be viewing things, because if I employ my in-law and all brother and leave others apart, is an element of corruption. And this thing we cannot deny it. Let us say the truth. That's why I say it's a culture, because if I cannot employ this person because it's not from my own, it's not from my tribe. If I have to promote this person because it's my relative, it's a corruption. There is a variety of corruption how we view it. Therefore, I don't want to put energy in it. And go to the point of COVID-19. I mentioned earlier on what happened to Tanzania. Here, I'm not here to discourage. We are here to encourage one another. For me, I say let us continue to educate them, to educate ourselves. What is going on in Europe or Africa is there's something wrong. And that something wrong, we have to cooperate to each other in order to help them out. When we come to the platform like this, it's here to gain advice from one another, listen to one another view. COVID-19 is really, but the way the approach is not pleasant. And remember, the way they are not taking seriously on economic matter in South Sudan, there is a link to COVID-19. And therefore, if you do not campaign for COVID-19, they will not recognize you. It's something that is a matter. COVID-19 is not a disease that is just come from just a nature. It's not a nature matter. Therefore, let us just encourage our people to be proactive when they enter to something. Let us not just listen and take on. We need to do more research about COVID-19, but advise our people to be safe. It comes to the question of my people who say early on, yes, here is where we value ourselves. respect your view. Even those brother and sister who campaign for independence, they got a point of view. We can't throw their point of view away. And why? Because of the corruption. Because people are not transparent, the nation. But what they have to what I have to remind them, I have to remind them what happened to us when we were waiting for the glory of Junubi independence. Before we receive and we harvest the fruit, what happened to us? This thing you should also think ahead. Your opinion is respected, but look the consequences. And these people will also treat you with unfairness. They will be your neighbor as well. And you may find yourself that glory you're thinking of, you may find somebody to control it, like it happened in South Sudan. Therefore, I love your opinion, but let us not drive ourselves emotionally. That would be great to my fellow who need independence. But actually, they don't mean it. But because of frustration and unfair treatment, that's how I view it. Therefore, let us come to work together and change this system. And when we change it, and then we can see we put a new constitution that will not take somebody land, that will not take your animal by force. This is how I see it. Let us work together and unite, and therefore we clean, and then we see how we can move on. If we are still disagree on that, and then somebody will need to be independent, because remember we are 64 mother. Let me put it that way. Every mother got a garden. Therefore, if we can't fit to eat in that dish,
We are 64.
And then everyone will take their plate.
We are 64 plus because we have brother with the tribe called Itahili. So he's going to get upset. So make sure.
Okay, 60, we mean that 65.
More than 64 plus because we don't have the detail actually. So just we put it 64 plus. Yeah. Okay,
let me put it 90 plus or more over tribe mothers. Yeah. If one of the mother take their plate away, and then if that's what going to fit us, that's all. Therefore, there's no point for us to fight each other. Your opinion, I respect it, but let us work out first, and then before we boil ourselves. Therefore, let us work together for unity among ourselves. Let us have a goal and how to achieve it together. And therefore, if we keep on disagree, even this is flat, such a place like this platform, therefore the system is beneficial. Therefore, I can just learn there, even by though I'm out of the topic a little bit. COVID-19, I got no real answer for it. I just advise sister and brother back in South Sudan, don't worry if you don't have money. Yes, God is with you. Even before there's so many things happen. This one is something that involves psychological matter. Don't worry. If you don't have money, you got $1, just spend to feed your children. Therefore, that's what I can stop there. And thank you for allowing my view.
Thank you. Hanging on, Brother Lam. I think if you don't have much going on, allow the podium. We have Brother Lobut sitting patiently. We appreciate your respect, brother. And the good news, you had some sleep, so you wake up in Italy. Hang on tight. I will allow Brother Derinda, my co-host from Zoom TV, to come in, say a few words, and then he can pass the podium to you, Brother Lobut, and then we'll go back to Ithaca. Come in, please.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, thank you.
Thank you.
Camila, but that's all right.
Okay, thank you so much. Now it's 9:51 a.m. here. At 10, I will be going for sports with my colleagues. Thank you so much for the. So thank you so much for the sharing. I will just give a summary and some recommendation. One thing that touched me about the situation of South Sudan, really, I followed Emmanuel Jal, and okay, some of you know Emmanuel Jal in
Yeah.
Canada.
Yeah.
One day he made a talk. He said the problem of South Sudan is not only the leaders. Many people think it's Salva Kiir and Riek Machar, the two, no? But it goes beyond. We have the commanders, we have the citizens themselves who are involved in doing all the atrocities. We have every citizen in South Sudan who is responsible for what is happening in the country. So his presentation was a call for the sense of responsibility for every South Sudanese in what is happening in South Sudan. If our soldiers in South Sudan, we can say, if all of them say, we are not ready to fight, we are not ready to rape our sisters, we are not ready to rape our mothers, we are not ready to take things away from our relatives, from our citizens, from our brothers, peace will come to South Sudan. But if we don't have this sense of responsibility, it is very difficult. Then we shall start blaming Salva Kiir, Riek Machar, and all that. Of course, these figures, as leaders, they should be exemplary to the community of South Sudan. And if they are not exemplary to the community of South Sudan, it puts the country in chaos. There is a blogger, YouTuber, no, in Nigeria, the one who made a video entitled who is the one causing problem in South Sudan? A very nice video of 3 minutes, but speaks a lot. How our leaders have their families outside the country, and many other issues. And the topic that was tackled there was corruption. Exactly what we are talking about here. Anyway, I live like that. And then the one thing that touched me, I followed a video of a woman, a South Sudanese woman from Jongole or Unity State. This woman was interviewed while she was crossing, because there was conflict, I think in Lair. She was crossing to go to Kenya and all this. So when she was interviewed, this woman said in her life as a South Sudanese, she has gone to exile and come back 15 times. Her life has always been horrible, going, coming, going, coming. Then there was a woman who was interviewed in Malakal. This woman was 70 years, a young soldier, younger than me, wanted to rape this woman, wanted to rape this grandmother, our grandmother. These things really put my mind off completely. And this is why I talked of a good governance does not really depend on the leaders heavily, but on the morality also, the morality of our citizens. If our leaders on top are able to implement this, because coming from the bush with their gorilla, sorry to say this, but of course SPLM was considered as a gorilla that gave us the liberation, was a nice move. But after that, we came as a new nation. We were supposed to form an army that is united with the good moral values that respects their citizens, and they moved forward together. An army that has good moral value is able to stand united and remove out a top leader who is corrupt. But this can never happen in South Sudan, because the morality of our leaders is determined by, of our soldiers is determined by our leaders. If our leaders see what they are doing, the soldiers are doing, or the people having guns are doing as nothing, then our life continues to be horrible like that. And this one really, I appreciated Emmanuel Jal with his presentation. What I would like to say is South Sudan, as our brother has said, whether 95 tribes or 65 or 70, every tribe is important. Every community, every state, every region is important. Every individual in South Sudan is a gift from God. The only thing that is lacking among ourselves, maybe others they have, but majority don't have, is sense of belonging, sense of common good. And this sense of common good has lost its meaning from the top. Then all the majority of the citizens see it from our leaders, that the leaders have lost the sense of meaning. You see a leader who has 2, 3, 4, 5 V8s, but in his village, he has not built a hospital. I worked in Lair in the Paris. I worked in Lair. The house of Riek Machar is less than a kilometer from the Paris. But you cannot believe that this is the house of the vice president. You cannot believe that this is the village of the vice president. I'm not saying that because he's a vice president, he should take all the resources and make development in his place. It's not like that. But at least to put schools, hospitals, roads, and all these things. I have not been in Warab, where the president comes from, but I'm sure where he comes from is not like where he stays in Juba. And this is alarming. Our people don't have the sense of belonging, the sense of loving their originality. You don't like to be in your place, you stay very far, and then what is happening in your locality, it is not touching you because you are not part of that reality in totality. So this is one of the things that I would like to tackle. Maybe a recommendation for you, you can maybe make one topic one day, because I'm hearing the governor, the president, and many other activists saying, come back, we call all our returnees, no, we call all our refugees in Kenya, in Ethiopia, Sudan, no, it's yes, Uganda, to come back home, But my view is this: our people can be rushed to go back home, and they go. With this, they can make a kind of partial peace agreement, then they go back. After going back, if it is true, they say 2022 or 2023, there will be elections. I am worried. I am worried about the results of the elections. I don't know who are those going to contest, but what I know is many leaders will not accept or will not concede defeat. And the only thing is, our leaders, since there is no proper formation of the army, they will take arms. Then the people who have returned from the camp will again return back to the refugee camps. And this is a disaster. If you can make maybe a topic about the return of the refugees to their home and the security. What is the guarantee? What is the guarantee of the refugees who will return back home? This will be a very nice topic. So I would like to wish everyone here a nice moment, blessings, and thank you so much. I will share also what I have discussed with you guys, with my friends here. We are a group of South Sudanese. We are students. Some are priests. Some are seminarians. They are studying in different universities all over here. We have group of WhatsApp. We have we normally have a meeting once in a while, but with the COVID, we are not able to come together and meet. But hope one day I will share. I created a group in Facebook called Pache, Peace in South Sudan. You know, to talk about peace, to put some words of hope, or you know what is happening in South Sudan, to put there and to put some questions, or no, like that. But what I realized, majority of the youth in South Sudan, they don't like truth. When you tell somebody the truth, like you tell me, James, so and so has done bad, and if I know that person X that we have said has done bad comes from my place, I tend to defend that person.
Correct.
And this is a very great sin that we South Sudanese have. And majority of the South Sudanese always said, we South Sudanese, we are well known of truth. We tell the truth, we tell the truth. I said it's not true. What is truth in itself? Truth in itself does not exist among majority of our people. Unless we live thinking in the line of a tribe, thinking in the line of a community, thinking in the line of a state, thinking in the life of a family, alone, we cannot move together. We need to think outside that reality and think with a sense of community. When somebody has done something bad, you condemn that person, but don't condemn the tribe. Condemn that person. And the other people from that tribe also must condemn that person. But if you condemn the whole tribe because of one person, I think it's not logical. Two, if one person is condemned in that tribe and then the whole tribe rally behind that person who has done the crime, it is not logical. And this is one of the things that many South Sudanese need to differentiate. So this is my feeling and my contribution. Thank you so much for your time, and thank you for accepting me to speak.
Before you go,
Yes.
brother Labut, just I'm curious, how long you have been in Italy, and how fluent are you with Italian? Because you know, if we have to remove your image, you sound more an Italian guy that is speaking English. Am I right, or how do you pick him that? You know, like,
He just created a page on Facebook in Italian. It's not even in English.
I am no. Now here I am 2 years and a half in Italy, but
so
as a
you're
rule,
a student.
exactly, as a rule in our community, we don't speak in English. So I only speak in English when I speak like this to you guys, or I speak with the other friends. So everything, the studies, all the studies, the lectures, and everything we have to follow in Italian. We speak at home in Italian. I do my pastoral work in the parish in Italian. So this one has affected me. It's affected me. Yeah.
That is beautiful. May God continue to bless you, to bless your
Thank you.
ministry, all the team there. And we need people like you. And this is also, it will fit in perfectly with our campaign, because you are within the church. And we know very well how influential the church are during our fight against Jalaba. And Italian government and the church, the Catholic Church precisely, they are involved with this Roma peace talk.
The community of St. Jude, yeah. See.
Yes.
Eugene.
Gideon.
See.
Yeah. And this is whereby I believe with your colleague, with other South Sudanese within the church community, those government are not serious about the peace. And this is where we want to push them to start our global campaign. As a priest to be, you cannot take a side. But if your people are suffering, even the church leader themselves, they are suffering in South Sudan, being abused, being tortured, whatever. So this is something we want to reflect it, because those people, they are self-centric individual. It is not about people of South Sudan. It is about them, because with the level of the humiliation that the Holy Father showed them, bowing down, getting on his knee, kissing their feet, begging them on behalf of people of South Sudan, please bring peace among your nation. They fail. And I said it, I had a specific show. I said whether it is going to be a curse or a blessing. And now they decide to make it a curse. So they pick the curse side. So thank you very much. Keep the house alive. Practice and everything. I believe, brother, Nderinda, I want to come in to compliment you before you leave, because he's my co-host. So we
Yes.
check each other. And during that, you can come in and say something to
I
our
need to.
father to be.
All right. Brother Labut, Kamakech, James, these are one of those rare occasions where we'll have someone coming in who absolutely do not go into any live show on Facebook, but something will pull them through to us. Speaking in your seminarian or your priest training way, I would be right if I say you are never coming here specifically unless, you know what, imagine you said something. You started watching the show earlier last night and you went to sleep. You woke up again. Something got you to come back to it and you found the show was still going on. It's like a call, so to speak. I'm just exaggerating. It's like a God's call because I'm quite sure you were probably doing whatever you do normally on Facebook, whatever you were doing, but this show caught your face, your eyes, and you decided to stay there for a bit to have a look and listen. And you realize, well, there is something happening here. You resisted it. You went to sleep, woke up again, back to it. And here you are again, sitting there looking at it. It is a call. And probably it's a call for a good case and for a good reason. Like my co-hosts have said, things happen for a reason. You probably, when you go with your friends now, Alora, hina, you know what? You will start talking. You'll start saying, look, wallahi, I came across something. People were talking, and I like what was going on, or I dislike what was going on. It gave me some ideas. Let's discuss it. Maybe next time, you will not turn up by yourself. You'll turn up with 2 or 3 other people who also wants to come and listen and give some ideas, because collectively we can pool our resources, our brains. We can pull it together, whether it is religious brain or it is political brain or whatever. We pull them together and make sure we get the best out of it that is in the interest of our people. Because some people who would watch such shows would say, what would you people do? You would do nothing if you want to come to Juba. As if Juba is the holy grail, of the solution of the problem of South Sudan. It can be anywhere, but don't tell me always come to Juba, because the problem is there, whether Juba is there or Juba is not there. With the same individual sitting, wherever they may be, the problem is still there. It can be in Wow. They can all relocate to Wow. That problem is not resolved. It's still, the problem is still there. So it's great that I've gotten to know you. I've made your acquaintance. And I believe one day you would be a great priest. Having listened to what you've been saying earlier all the time, I don't want to resemble you to our late Archbishop Paulino Lukudu Loro, but that's that mentality of thinking. And also there's Desmond Tutu that our brother Dominic is mentioning here. They have that mentality of, they see the suffering of the people. They don't think about it religious only. They look at it from different angles. Priests have that mentality of looking at the problem, suffering of the people, as if they are looking at the color cubes. To solve the cube, you got to turn the whole thing around. There's no way you can just keep looking at one side and keep turning. You will never resolve the match the colors on a cube. You have to turn it around from every angle, so to speak, in order to be able to say, okay, these are all green, all whites, all red, all yellow, all black, all blue. If you don't turn it around, you probably will solve one face, but the remaining faces will remain all mumbled colors, and that is not the solution we want. And that's exactly the kind of things that we're trying to do here. That's what we're doing. We're trying to resolve, find some solution. Not that we can do it, but If we can do it, we'll do it. But we need to get everybody to understand the problem of South Sudan is a big cube. We all need to look at it from different angles. We know the government and the individuals in that government have made up their mind not to look at any other side of that cube. Even the side that they have, they're unable to match that one color on that one side, one face. So I honestly, I'm happy with you. I'm happy.
Thank you so much.
Yeah, I'm happy with the way you're going. That's great, and get us back.
Could I just
come to us anytime? Yeah.
Thank you so much.
Could I add?
Thank you.
Could I add before?
Brother Lam wants to say something to you before you exit. Come in, Lam.
Yes. Excellent. Brother, I'm so delighted to hear your point of view. You mentioned early on what is lacking in South Sudan is sense of belonging. That's absolutely true. Before you go and share with your friend, as you are there in that very important occasion, which I hope you and I wish you are successful to achieve it for a common good of South Sudan. What I'm trying to remind us, as you say, the difficult thing when you're trying to suggest something, people lack transparency and they become defensive rather than listening. They are arguing over the problem rather than accepting the problem, but they have to ask themselves how they're going to fix it out. It's one point I heard from you earlier. Brother, put in prayer that is a corruption itself. When you defend somebody doing wrong, because it's your relative, that is a scenario linked to corruption. And we need to pray for certain spirit as the one setting us back. And therefore, all the institutions in South Sudan as we communicate, it's not present Unity. They are present something else. Could you talk to your colleagues over there and continue for praying over those individuals? And their ears will be open. When they hear, I know we are suffering from a very high trauma, which I cannot single anyone. Could you pray for our people over there with your group? And also pray to us here to change those mindsets. When you trying to give your point to your sister, they will be able to listen to your point rather than rejecting them. Therefore, I request, in that point of view, it may be sound different to others, but it's a real thing. Because what you're saying, when you're trying to suggest something to your brother or sister, but because it's related to them, they will become defensive. This is the point I'm trying to remind you. And those things we need prayer. We don't need to, because we can't change those mindsets. It's only God will change those mindsets. That's my point of view that I need you.
Thank you so much.
Yeah. If I'm allowed to say anything, because I have to ask the leadership of the house.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much for all the words, and of course we keep on praying for South Sudan. Pray for me, guys. Also, I'll be praying for you, my brothers.
Amen.
My sisters also who are listening. We work together for peace, and one day, one time, we shall all be together in South Sudan and enjoy the country that we are wishing to be in. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Grazie a tutti.
Grazie.
Ciao.
Malamedit.
That's a good one.
Yeah, guys, sometimes we have to admit our diversity and we should not shy away from it.
100%.
That's what causes the problem in South Sudan. Because when you see these children who complain they need to be independent, it's not their wish. It's a frustration. But let us just continue to pray God to give us a spirit of belonging and trying to understand, because sometimes we can communicate, but when we don't understand each other, it's another matter. And let us drop this mindset, because my uncle is there, I have to protect them. Because my uncle is giving you or access to the well of that they sit on them. Sorry, you may forgive me for my language. That's what is going on. What about if your uncle is losing the position tomorrow? What will happen? It's better you treat your neighborhood better than focus on your uncle or auntie. It's a part of the corruption. Therefore, let us come out, challenge me for what I say. Let us admit that the reality. If there's something wrong, let us say this thing is wrong. Then from there, we have to find a way how we are going to deal with it. For example, what happened in 2013? It happened. We are not going to roll back the curtain. When we accepted, it happened. Now we have to pick, and we have to figure out how we are going to move on. Because if we keep carrying on the past and we still see another day, then it will not take us forward. Therefore, for my own view, what set our country back is a matter of being honest to each other. It's another type of when you are not honest to your brother. It's like when you go to the doctor and you can't, if you do not tell the symptom that disturbing you, the doctor will not treat you. Therefore, let us be honest to one another, and also let us learn to forgive. Because if you did for me, if I did to you wrong, the easy way to leave it behind is not because you're going to forgive, but to move forward, you have to forgive one another and then see the new day. But it seems our people, they don't buy that. What do we need to do? Therefore, we have this group. This group will say now we leave that. But in the other place around, they still have somewhere. And the other group, they will accept, they will be honest. And while this group is digging what they agreed on, it's another problem. These things have to be thrown away in order to have a viable society that accommodates everyone. Therefore, I would asking the host to continue, not to give up. And if anyone have a view whether it's pointing on you, just swallow it. We need to work together. We cannot afford to go on like this. Our forefathers suffer, our children suffer. Do we expecting our children also to be suffer while we are doing the same thing? For example, if I'm wrong, I will say yes, I'm wrong. Can you forgive me? Can you correct me? Our people, they don't want to be corrected. It's another disease. Therefore, I welcome all the boys. If I did something wrong, tell me. This is how we gain unity. How do we unite while we don't understand each other? Therefore, brother, I just add that and then go on. I'm with you. But what I say, let us drop all those old-time mindset. Let us see the new faith. Our people are suffering enough. Let us come and learn from one another. If I say something wrong that is upsetting you, I'm not upsetting you. I'm struggling to how I can get peace into my country. Just come out and correct me. That's what I can say in this moment. I'm still there. Thank you.
Man, you made me speechless. I don't have anything to add. I will allow my brother Nderinda to share a little bit to compliment you because I believe in the last 96 hours, I gave my people good 14 hours of continued talk. So, Nderinda, come in.
Yeah.
If you have a compliment to Brother Lam, but just let me say this. Continue hosting such talk. I believe if I have to do it for a good 5 years, I will be the wiser man on this earth, because when you listen to all those individuals with their wisdom and with their caliber, I believe it is a learning curve. And unity got to do with humility. If we can humble ourselves so that, the language, the civil level of communication going on here, if I did you wrong, please find a place in your heart and correct me, and we carry on. I love you, I care about you. If this language, we start to address it at all the platform, gun will be silent. And this is how we can end the rebellion, because people rebel for a reason. And as a matter of fact, there isn't a legitimate system in our country. Okay, it is illegitimate system. So just let us be humble and try to coexist and tolerate each other. This tolerance will take us somewhere. Brother Daniel, I will give it to you. And then whatever you want to put through, you can give the podium to Odysseus to put his final thought, and then we can wrap it up together. Thank you very much, Brother Lam.
All right,
Thank you.
Brother Gigi Lam. This is the second time I'm listening to you. I believe I had a chance to listen to a recording. What is the name? Gigi Lam.
Night.
Yes.
Yeah.
So I happened to listen to a recording where you were talking, because I played, then I walked away to do something. Then at the beginning, you sounded like our brother from Silicon Valley. But then Gabriel Tor. You sounded like Gabriel Tor. But as you continue to talk, and I'm concentrating to listen, I noticed there's a difference. Then I came back to have a look at who is talking. So I saw you. I'm not sure how many of you are there in South Sudan. And I mean, with the same humbleness and the way of looking at the things, without if I was monitoring your blood pressure pulse or your heart pulse, it wouldn't have gone past the 80. It is just sitting there on the 80, because you're so calm. You're just talking. You're calm and you're talking. You're getting your own messages. You just put it around there. You don't, you're not like Mr. Know It All. No, that's not the idea here. You have a little bit. You put it out, and I call these people the wise people. Don't claim that they know everything. The wise people speak short, whatever the idea they have, they furnish it to you as it is. But the fools are the one they are ready to talk to you just because you ask them one question, and they felt that you threaten them. They can talk from morning until evening, because they think they know it all. But that is not correct, because we are all on this earth. We don't know it all. And I might go a little bit as far as saying even Jesus himself didn't know it all. Because ask yourself this question. How come when he was on the cross, he was still asking himself, asking his Father, what is going on? So he didn't know it all. He know he was wise. So he fall into that category. He was giving his parables and his messages to his disciples in a short doses, and he was addressing the Pharisees and all of those authorities of the day in the way very short that he was doing it to them. So am I saying are we are Jesus? No, I'm saying as humans we learn from each other. We learn from each other by listening. I listen to you, I listen to Brother Odysseus, I listen to so many other sisters, I listen to them. So I learn from some of the things they say, they learn from some of the things I say. We all collectively then we can, if you want to, we can then draw from all this collection of wise words, wise ideas, put it together and advance ourselves. So with you, I'm glad.
Thank you.
I'm glad. This is the first time for me to be with you on a live show, and I'm quite sure you now know the way. If you find your way through to let us talk, then you'll find your way to Zoom TV, and you might find your way one day to Western Bargazal TV and into other shows that we are there. You know, you will find your way to all these Zoom, all these TV shows, and you will find out whether it is an appropriate show to get into it. That with whatever topic that is being discussed, you will make that decision, that judgment based on what you're listening to. Because if you get to a show where everybody is just fiery, is holding a fire and a sword on one hand, and then just going onto each other, probably you might not be able to get in there, because if you get in there, try to talk that wisdom nicely, you might get you find yourself, you might get frustrated quickly. Please come anytime. Let's discuss
you.
things. We have many discussion at any time. We discuss political issues, social issues, you name it, whatever we can discuss to keep our people engaged. So if you get a chance and you come across, you find Brother Krikuju on, or you find us on Zoom TV or any other shows, please come in, drop your sense, as we say, because it might not make sense to you that it is important, but that sense you drop is very important to somebody else when they listen to what you have to say. So you can take your leave if you so wish, but come again next time. I think his network is frozen now.
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah. Okay. The microphone with you, Krikojo.
Just you can bring
you.
Odysseus in to bring his final thought.
Yeah, he's frozen.
Yeah, you can take Lam.
Okay. Brother Lam, if you are listening, you're frozen. I'll take you off the screen. What is happening there? No, he's back now.
To each one, yes. I'm delighted to hear from you guys, and I'm proud to be a part of you, and all the way to South Sudan. What disturbs us is not about our wish. There are natural forces that fighting our development, that give us the mindset of division in order to delay us. And your feedback is so great. Everyone was something to us. But sometimes when we trap in trauma, sometimes we rush into certain common, or to deem or to have a stereotype on one another is not the way forward. Everyone can make a difference to us among us, because as you see, even in education institution or hospital, the doctor need a nurse, need helper. Everyone fit somewhere. This is what we have to consider. Our people, they're always too much confident of their own, including myself. But the way forward, brother, whether you're from east, from north, from south, all part of the north, let us work on one common goal, which is the survival of the north. and the future of our children. There is no child different from one another. It's only the system of the layer always speak those terms. And therefore, is we are allowed to be corrected, we correct each one another, it will be great through. Sometimes we can talk, but it could also, if we don't understand each other, it's another matter. I can read the Bible loudly, but there is one who listens the Bible. Therefore, I think, as you mentioned, if I refer you to Corinthians from 1 to 2, is speaking a lot about forgiveness and also gift of individual and also God gift of the Spirit. Therefore, we need to be there to compromise all the time. And I will learn in this modern world, the bigger number you are, the biggest achievement and the biggest protect. Therefore, I really appreciate for giving me this opportunity. And if there is anything that I pointing out with, sometimes we normally brush out because of emotion. Just feel free to drop your comment to me, or suggestion. Just feel free to say anything. Whether it's something that can boil me is okay, because when you give me feedback or you suggest some advice to me, you are not offending me. You are trying to help me. This is how I believe. This is how I believe myself. If you correct me, you help me out. And therefore, for the audience and the platform and the host, it's a God Spirit show. Let us come out and hear our differences. If we keep in our differences, they will boil us up. And therefore, those opportunities, they will take that, and then we will be given. It's better for us to come out and speak out rather than silent or blaming game. And thank you to all of you. And thank you for your comment. And it's really encouraging. And God bless it all.
Thank you very much, Brother Lam. This conversation will continue. We appreciate your input.
Yeah.
Thank you.
And God bless South Sudan. And God bless South Sudan.
Amen.
I forget
Amen.
that.
Amen.
Yes.
Thank you. And bless you too, and bless your family.
Thank you. Yeah.
Yeah. Bye-bye.
Okay. The same to you guys. Okay. Thank you. Bye.
Brother Odysseus, who is waiting patiently. I have to wrap it up. What is your final thought, brother? Thank
Yes,
you.
I'm here. First of all, yeah, I know even I have to go in a couple of hours to work, but I just want to say something because I was waiting patiently to reply to your word earlier. You said, and then also the Mr. Lam who left and the others. Just to remind you something that I used to remember from Nietzsche, just putting him in that category, because what he said, sometimes people don't want to hear the truth because they don't want their illusion to be destroyed. What I mean is that I know it's harsh, but because right now in South Sudan we have illusion. We have an illusion that we are one people. And then when you begin to tell the facts, they automatically condemn you to be generalizing people. When in fact, I am one person who believed, and I still believe in the Pan-African ideals, but I don't accept what's going on within the country. If you look at the condition that we are today, the condition is because of the past, and without your past, there is no present. So even if people say, let's forget the past, if you cannot recollect the past, how could we go forward? Sometimes the past gives us a hint, identify to us What was the wrong? What was the root? Like how our brothers in the other side, you know, in the political spectrum, if we talk about Soma, they talk about the root cause. Why they're talking about the root cause? Because they want to go to the deep core of the issue. So if we understand the meaning root cause, we have to understand also that the condition that we are living as a civilians in this country is intolerable. We cannot tolerate it anymore. And for us to see 1%, if we call it, if we base the tribes on 1% of the other tribes will be like, you know, majority of them who are ignored, then people have to speak. And I'm not generalizing because of sake of generalization or because I hate this, I hate the people in particular. No, it's something that we have to see, because in the past they accepted it, because you could see a lot of signs shows that they are not willing to even admit there is a mistake from their side. Keeping silent, that means you're accepting it, and denying it, that means you are really not repenting, because they kept quiet, and they accepted the situation what was going on until when others, and like our brother, with all the respect, he said, Mr. Lam said that this young generation who are coming out now calling for, you know, indirectly he said it, and I can understand him. He said that those are calling for separation in a way. They are more like they wanted to be, they are frustrated. And this is funny because I heard this so many times. People calling us frustrated, emotional, you know, passionate, all that. But we are going on facts. We're not going on emotion. We tried everything. Even the same time, I remember going back to north and south when we were one country. We believe, I myself believe that we are one nation. We don't need to divide. But some people say, let's go. And that was the time when people were really emotional. Because if they were not emotional today, they would not be in this condition. But for us, when I'm talking about my right, my territory, my people, I'm not segregating anyone. I'm just going back to my place. I'm like saying, my son, my brother, my mom, my wife, my children. Do I segregate myself from a society when I just claim this is my wife, this is my children? I'm not. I'm still the same person. But what I'm doing is I'm trying to put a line between the others who are not from my line, you know, from my side. But I respect them as a citizen. I respect them as other brothers from other side. But they have to respect me too, because if they don't respect me, then I have to take all decisions to defend my people, my family. And this is what we do. I'm not going there based on tribe, because if I hate one tribe, then I have to hate all the other tribes. Why do I have just to hate one tribe? That mean I could be like those other tribalists who want to fight for the sake of their tribe. So I'm not generalizing at all. And I'm not here for the sake of defending myself, but I'm here for the sake of facts. And it's sad when we see the elders of our communities would love us, or, you know, with all the respect to all the elders in our communities in South Sudan. Sometimes they like to instruct us to hold higher esteem of those who they think like us in the same category, because they don't see that these things can corrupt us. That's where the real corruption is, because you're favoring someone, and when you start favoring, you begin to, you know, favoring what is good for you, holding high esteem of those who think like you. So this is why I cannot accept such ideals. I go with what I see for the facts, and I judge it very carefully. And also, you have to understand, sometimes if you want the truth to come out, people need to speak, because even people in the law, they know that people who work in legal matters, when it comes to evidence, if there is no enough evidence to help this victim or this innocent person to be cleared, then how could it be? If he's silent, he'll be like Jesus. But Jesus had a plan, has a mission. You know, he was silent even when Pilatus, so Pilate, you know, the governor of Judea, when he asked him, "Are you the son of Jews?" Or he gave him a lot of questions, and he was quiet. If you're quiet, of course, you're gonna be, you know, oppressed. You know, that's why we have to speak. حتى مالكم اكس كلم كلام ده في الماضي. هو قال له لا شنو؟ يعني باللغة العربية، وقال تعلمت من باكر إنه الحق لازم يعطى لمن، قال الحق شفت لا يعطى، يعني الحق ما بيدوه لمن يسكت عنه. لو أنت قاعد تسكت عن حقك ما في زول بيديك له. المرء يجب أن يتحدث عن يتحدث عن حقه ويعمل ضجيج حتى يحصل لما يريد. فإحنا عاوزين حقنا We have to speak out for the truth, because today we see people wanted to silence, and people are trying to play political correctness, being political correct in a time where now today, even in the West, you've seen people are now becoming nationalists, are becoming more, you know, they begin to look at themselves. Even during the Trump era and before Trump era, there was a situation like that. It started in Europe, where people say, I'm a European because of what going on, because they don't want to be in this ideology of globalization and all that. They find themselves, they are in danger because their home has been taken, especially with some other particular people who, like in Middle East, who they don't understand that we are one people, I mean humanity, but they were trying to dominate through their own culture and language. That's why Europeans were scared, even to religion. And that's why they begin to focus on nationalism, like in the ancient time, I mean during the 20th century. So today, 21st century, and especially for us in South Sudan, we are facing a difficult moment. But the people need to first, to get this problem out, they have to come sincere. Let them not try to play with fire or play with snake and say the snake is not going to bite, because that would be the end of us. And if we're not going to be reasonable, I mean, I'm worried even about to go to the deeper point of people begin to look at themselves as a tribe, because we don't want this disease. If this disease is somewhere else, let us isolate it. That's why we are calling for isolation of anything that will try to infect us to think in a matter that is not going to help us. And that's not hateful. That's not, generalizing a tribe. We are speaking on facts because we have been going through a lot of these things. And yet, even when we came out, instead of them coming sincere and say, yes, yeah, we did wrong, we admit. No, they wanted to actually tell us, no, we are not all of this. No, because if you were there, what did you do? You got to prove it. Activism. What did you do? Based on, we see people were insulting others, calling names and all that, and we could see. Like, I just came recently last year on these social media to start speaking out, but I can tell you, I'm disappointed, and that's when I came up to the idea of we have to be in this kind of side, put a line on our side so we can have a better solution. And it's not frustration, as our brother has said. I want to remind him, because a frustrated person will not sit down here and talk and wait to listen. It would have been, I've been in the bush right now. I've been taking guns. I've been retaliating like what happened during 2013 actions. So we're not that kind of mindset. We reason before we act. And this is why we do our things. Thank you.
This is my little wisdom of 51 years old. Your voice have been heard, but it is very important for our people. They said, when you are a traveler, if you came across a little stream or a source that pulling water, drink it, but don't ruin it. Continue, because you may come back through that passage again. This is number one. Number two, just think about it. If I heard you correctly, you said you believe in Pan-African. And Pan-African, how are you gonna form a Pan-African or to be a member of Pan-African while you without us? Because South Sudan, that we are part of it, we are still in it. If Pan-African gonna form itself, you will find us right there, even after separation of the region of Equatoria. So still, the same people that you rejected them here, okay, you are gonna find them in Pan-Africa, because Pan-Africa is the concept of United States of Africa or United Continent or whatever of Africa. So this is whereby there will be, maybe it will be a wider confederalism of all African state. Maybe we'll have a universal currency, little thing here and there, but that is the concept. So if with this concept, you couldn't fight to stay within this, corrupt country of Republic of South Sudan, and with the great idea, with brilliant idea, all of you are smart guys, especially those who are calling for separation, with those great idea. If you cannot fix this South Sudan, how are you going to survive within that bigger umbrella of Pan-African? People are thinking about, we live in a global village. And now we are going into making small countries. So no disrespect to your idea, what you believe in, with your team. And we made ourselves clear. Sister Patricia asked a question earlier. We made ourselves clear. We are not against it. We respect your right. We wish you all the best. So, but think about those little, you can consider it as a word of wisdom, or you can consider it as a stupid idea. So
no, it's a good challenge. You challenge me, but I if you don't mind, there is one thing I would remind you. We put all our thoughts. We put all our thoughts in. To be honest, it's not a beautiful thing to separate. It's the same like marriage. But to be honest with you, like earlier CJ mentioned, and Hadassah and all the others who are always, you see them speaking out. Coming to the idea of, you say Pan-African. I'll tell you one thing: Pan-African is not, it's not, and I believe in it 100%. I'm telling you, I believe in it. But you have to understand, it's similar to what Europeans and all the other countries, independent nations in Europe, call themselves Europeans. And they believe in pro-Europe. That's why they have European Union today. And you look at England is the only one that got out, but it's still, they kind of considered is part of Europe. But the ideology that they did is just, there's a differences. They separated because they had differences, but it doesn't mean that they are not going to look after England if somebody attack England from other continent like Africa or Asia, which is like, if China attack or something, even like Russia, which Russia is actually something else compared, even though it's in that continent. But to look at it, that we as Equatorians, that we are calling for separation, most of us are Pan-Africanists. But what worries us is the problem that is in there is trying to create division of our small tribes that's supposed to stick together like always. And when we see like I said last time, the puppets are used to disintegrate us, then we had to take action as people who are capable to stand against such tyrant organizations. But at the end, it will come on the people's side, not me, because at the end, the people would decide. But what I would say, Pan-Africanism does not ruin, like our separation will not ruin Pan-African ideal or Pan-African, the ideology of Pan-African to come to existence if the kind of Africa all in peace. Because if you look at every country in Africa, there's a conflict. How could we be a one United States of Africa when you see all conflict everywhere? You see tribal conflict, you see most of these tribal conflicts, like every leaders. And that's why we are worried about this. We don't want that. And we want to create a new society that will have a different mindset, a society that will now raise their nation and their flag in a flag that will say, we are the people, and not a tribe, and not a political organization, or not a dictator. That's the reason why. But I believe in that, because even if some people, like before I heard them, they said they are African too, from South Sudan. And yet I ask them, and they try to criticize me. I was like, okay, what about you guys? You separated from North. Isn't North is part of North Sudan is part of Africa? So that's a question. So there is so much things we can talk about.
I don't want to be confrontational here with
you. Yes, sir.
But the idea, for me, it doesn't make sense at all. Let me tell you
it's
this.
All right.
Let me tell you this, okay? No disrespect, but you believe in idea of Pan-African because strongly, you believe you are not going to be a sideliner. You are going to promote it. You are going to work for it. you are going to move in a direction to be a contributor, how to bring this Pan-African together to make it a reality. Am I right or wrong?
I mean, did you hear me earlier? If I don't sorry to interrupt. You hear me earlier? أنا قلت له في زول هو عنده بيت بتاعه قاعد يدافع عن مرته وجناه. هل هو خارج من الحلة? Is he outside from the neighborhood? He's still part of this neighborhood, but he have to make sure he organizes his house. So I'm not going to say I'm out of the idea that one day Africa will unite, and I believe in it. We promote that Pan-African within our people, so we don't think tribal. Because right now in South Sudan, there is a toxic environment of tribalism, and it starts with the regime. And like when we said, we put the base, the roots of it, where it comes from, people begin to say we are generalizing people.
Let me come in. This is what I'm trying to say. If Odysseus, you and your team, if you fail to fight within this South Sudan and to say, I am here, we are not going anywhere, okay? How are you going to challenge the Hausa, the Zulu, the other crazy tribe across South Sudan, the Somalian, whoever, so that to convince them to make this Africa great for all of us? Charity starts from home. This is the basic principle, okay? We have to fix this. We have to fix this South Sudan first, okay? Then we elevate ourselves to the next level. Because now you break out. We South Sudanese, we are going to be obstacles on your way, because it's a breakaway, and we have to stick in your face, and then we form ally, okay? How about working, fixing this South Sudanese home first, and then collectively, because I believe you know us better than the Rwandan, you know us better than even whatever, the Dinka keep coming in and then where, okay? You know the Dinka better than the Hausa. You know them better than Zulu of South Africa. You know them better, I don't know the name of tribes in Somalia, okay? But how are you gonna, it is not one-on-one, but this is just some idea. No disrespect.
I understand.
But at the end of the day, if you cannot survive in this small entity of South Sudan, okay, do you think this idea of Pan-African, effectively you will be able to contribute, you will be able to bring it into reality? And already we have a bad divorce here, and the way how it is gonna look like, okay? I am not against the idea, but the killing and the marginalization, it is happening everywhere. It is happening with my people, it is happening with the Shulu, it is happening with many communities, you know. But that is your right, fight for it. For now, I am not going to be against it, but when that time when Great Equatoria separate and you are gonna come with this idea of Pan-African, if I am alive, I will say, hey, I can trust this because you know,
oh man,
run away from us. Brother, I will pass it to you so that you want to.
So you won't trust me if I'm calling for Pan-African? That's so sad. But guess what? Because at the end, it's like there is, like they say, a battlefield. In every battlefield, there is a different way how to fight. So right now we're in a fight that is called Equatoria have to take a decision for themselves. But in the time being, we know how exactly things will fall in. But I wish that we had a chance, because they didn't give us a chance. And also I find I was disappointed by leaders that supposed to represent us to come up as strong and defend every person right. But unfortunately, they're not even speaking out bluntly on truth. Instead, they are trying to, appeasement. يا هو سياسة المجاملات اللي عندنا كتير في جنوب السودان ده وصلنا للمرحلة ده, and that's why I see it. But I appreciate. But one day Africa will unite, but not in the way that we see. لازم نشيل الوسخان برا, نرجع تاني نجي نفكر صح. إذا كيف؟ ما ينفصلوا من شمال السودان. So thank you.
Odysseus.
أيوه.
Like I've never seen a God share like in asthma.
Next time, I know.
I was going to ask you like in Kalan no God for some
اديني سؤال واحد كان انت ما مشكلة
Yeah,
أنا بجاوبك.
أنا بس كان دارنا أسألك. Where
Yeah.
do you see yourself 15 years from now? Honestly, when you sit down, lie down in your bed at night, بعيدا ما في سي جي في التليفون، ما في حديثة في التليفون، ما في منو في التليفون. You're not on any show. You're just lying down. Where do you see yourself 15 years from now?
15 years from now,
Yes.
I see myself.
Because remember, I'm going to hold you to that answer. I'm quite sure after 15 years, I'll come and ask you.
Well, I cannot. If you don't mind, I will not answer this because this is something I had to do to get there. But I know the answer though. It's not like I don't know. Trust me, I know it.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Okay. Because
Not
that
a
thing is
problem.
just because right now I'm in the middle of a lot of fights. So you gotta understand that I have to kind of like keep myself in all every side. I have to make sure I'm not getting bombarded with, oh, you said this because I was like, no, hold on a second. I'm telling you, let me just show you by action. That's all it matters. But I'm more right now focused on Equatorial because once security there, everything will be okay with me.
All right. Not a problem. I'll still come and ask you about that 15 years.
No,
I'll
it's not
know
going
the
to
right
take that
time to
much.
ask you again.
You can ask me 5 years from now. That's for sure. 5 years from now, you can ask me that.
Not a problem. This is it's as always. You articulate. You have your ideas. You stick to it. You don't veer off it, and that's good because that tells you someone is a principle. They have their own principle. They made up their mind about something and they keep it up. They don't veer away from it, regardless of how many things they can hear around them. But they have an idea. They keep pushing. They keep pushing until the last bit in their blood. So that's what they do. You came in and you participated into the discussion. It goes a little bit to the side, but it's still within that corruption idea that the topic was all about. Like we said, probably maybe you didn't come here earlier. Maybe you just came towards the end. We will discuss this with Brother Krikuju, and we sort of see if we can open it up a little bit more wider, and we can tackle it. Either can tackle it here or tackle it on Zoom TV, so we can examine it. Corruption as a corruption, because there is so many corruption happening in South Sudan, not just the corona, where the donors start after they want to know exactly to trace it down. Now it becomes an issue. Now Tala reports no. There is so many things. There are so many layers. Like I said earlier, there's so many layers of corruption that needs to be unpacked. It needs to be pulled out. Yes, such a bits like the one you mentioned earlier with the SPLM. These are layers. This is just one of the many layers. South Sudan could have been a good country in the sense of being a good country, but a lot of things went into it because there is a lack of understanding what a country is all about. From Al-Hizb al-Agnabi, they themselves, and I tackled that question long time. Right from the beginning, I said, why does it look like our people are not being educated into becoming civilized and understanding what a country is about? Why is it like people were always in a rush to push them around? Yeah. بلد امشي عشان نفويد عشان نطلع برا من جلبة. What was the reason? And it happened to be after 16 years, it happened to be that my question was valid. There was no intention whatsoever to educate the people who are the prospective citizens of a country that when the referendum is done, for sure it will result into the secession of South Sudan. There were no intention for those citizens, those potential citizens, to learn what a country is about. They know the citizens of the would-be country, 80 or 95% of them are illiterate. They knew that. They made sure they make use of this number, the percentage, make use of it to meet their own goal, which they did not show us during the 6 years interim. Instead, they sugarcoat everything. Everything was sugarcoated. We were because they ran us on our emotions. Hey, referendum, we must separate. Jalaba, Jalaba Amalena, Jalaba Catalna, Jalaba Amaldak, Ashenkir Lazim Nifut. There is nothing that we it can tawar the zol munum sakal like, yep, separation. Lisa Bala the separation for Samandak. But they made sure they bombarded us with that good, vibe of separation, and they drew for us, they painted that picture of us living alone as a country, so beautiful and so brighter than with the Jalaba. And of course, being coming into such experience, we really didn't think too much as to, why was all this push? We just thought everything is really great. We have people who are pushing things on our behalf. They fought for 21 years. Now they got through all these, agreements put together, and they have 2000. They have the CPA, so they are pushing for everything in the thing. Even ABA was in it there. We were just happy that everything is going to happen. Everything. Even people of ABA couldn't say more because they believed everything was going to happen. Everything is being pushed in a rush. But then now we realize what exactly was being done. It was intentional. No one should know anything about the country. Look at the way the national security, is formed. Look at the way all the government, institutions, are made up. Look at everything. Even then, at the beginning, we didn't see it. We didn't see it because we were still suffering the hangover of secession of South Sudan. But within 2 years, Bashamish with Africa, this hangover was over. By the time we opened our eyes, it was 2013. It was a harsh reality. And then now we start talking. So everything was built on a foundation of sand. It wasn't built on a rock. It was built on sand. Of course, we do know you build your foundation on a sandy ground. We know what's going to happen. Either that building sink in, or one side will be sinking in, and it will lead to the wall cracking, and the whole thing, the whole structure will collapse. Keep up the good work you're doing. You don't know when you will turn it around. You don't know which other direction you may make use of it. Do a lot of reading for yourself. Follow a lot of good examples. Pile them up in your head, and be reasonable into when you're piling them and comparing them, sifting through them. Pile them up. It will help a lot, because even if your push now materialize somewhere and Equatorial become a separated entity, you will still be able to pull your own mind to normalize your relation with everyone around you in a much better way. It's very rare to find youth, people at your age, who really dedicated their life all of a sudden for the country. It is very rare. It is very, very, very rare. And that is just my opinion. So just keep what you're doing. Do it. The rest will be doing what they are doing. What they are good at, they will continue with it. That should not be a point for clashes, but should be a point of contentious, intellectual mind, meeting together and discuss, disagree to agree or agree to disagree, walk away, equip yourself with more information, come around. That's being intellectual.
Yes, sir.
With that, I honestly would say thank you for coming in. and I'm not sure whether this is morning for you or late night for you or
Yeah,
dawn.
it's morning. It's morning. It's morning.
Yeah.
It's almost 5. If I'm not, yeah, it's 5 o'clock exactly.
5
Yeah,
o'clock.
so I got like an hour to
Awesome.
go. Yeah, but I just want to say thank you guys for hosting. Welcome me again in your forum. It's really a pleasure and honor for me to come and speak with you guys because all the time when I talk to you, I feel like really I'm learning also something. Don't think that I don't learn. You challenge me too in every thinking I'm thinking about and everything I'm saying. And what I want to tell you is that I truly, truly, I have faith. Like they say, things right now look bad, but the sun is going to shine. So anything could be possible. But one thing I want to tell you, I want the people to have a voice more than these politicians, more than these warlord rebels, more than any tribal, ethnic tribe that will say, I'm the born to rule, I'm an ethnic that is mighty, because these ideologies will not get us anywhere. And this is why we see today we're in a clash. We're fighting. We see our country is going down to the abyss in a way that I, as a generation who grew up outside, I'm saddened. I did not expect this. I wanted to give my knowledge and my skills to the country, but how could I give it when I see the whole country is in shambles? And then some people they want to just sweet talk the problem as if there is nothing. To cover it up was batani as if either we have to cover this fight, we have to turn it off completely, or we have to find somewhere to stop because you cannot just let it cover up batani bizid tan naman become worse. So right now we're in this level. So I want our people to understand that hope is not lost yet. And all we need is to have faith in each other and to be honest with ourselves when we come to this such challenging conversation like this. And I really appreciate you because you don't fear to come up and confront people like me and anyone else who have a different opinion from you, because you respect them and you give them the chance to speak. And this is the best thing. I really be honest, like I'm really honored to be in your forum. Every time when you speak, anything you talk about, it shows me that you guys are truly the light or the pillar of this nation. I wish we have more people like you guys around us, that elders who can be able to speak and open mind, not just comment like getting offended. Because I know everybody have a feeling. Of course, we are born human, but at the end, you have to always isolate. You have to separate from your feeling and from what this person is talking about in his point of pain or his issues. The case, like especially as you a lawyer, you understand that even a case they will separate some things, that this is a factual thing, or it's not is not going to be combined with what the case is going to be. So this is what we want. We want people to be open minded to get to the solution. And at the end, the people are the one who are going to decide. I'm just speaking out in their behalf. But at the end, maybe the people will make their choice in a different way. You'll be surprised, because at the end, only the other side have to show they are real, genuine in their words, not just keeping words, saying it, and then you see still the same thing going on. فأنا بشكركم كثير وربنا يكون معكم, every one of you guys and all the audience who are watching too. شكرا لكم كثير. Thank you.
Thank
You're
you.
welcome.
Thank you.
You can have your leave. Still, you can take your leave.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
Brother Krikuju,
Yeah.
it is yours, all yours now.
There isn't much to add. There is no recap because we recap it several times. I think the message is clear. The conversation will continue. We are committed to revisit this topic, to blow it, put it in a big frame so that we can zoom into it from different perspectives. And we will carry this conversation to Zoom TV, whereby thank you, Brother Abraham. We are doing fabulous. You came in, we are wrapping it up. So watching from South Sudan.
But now you're in South Sudan.
معلومة شفنا اسمك في حكومة, so that is good, man. You are lucky. I feel jealous because you can go to South Sudan and I can
South Sudan as much as you wish.
Yeah. بلد البلد. أبراهام مديت مجاك ولد البلد, وأغريكوجو دانيال ليس أولاد البلد.
Yeah.
That is
Good to see you. That's
okay.
why you disappeared for a while from Lake State Media, man.
Yeah, we hope one day all of us we will have the same feeling. We are not greedy. We are not akul barao. So when one day our quest for a change that will accommodate all of us, might know a few that they have the privilege al assassin to go home يمشي يجددوا مع أهلهم. ده منو شاف ابراهام في التوتش هناك قاعد يشرب لبن بتاع بقر فريش. I don't know if اذا هتعرف تعلب لبن so
Yeah. Yeah.
Anyway, it was a good run, and I believe I started 7 o'clock my local time, and it is 3 a.m. now. So I did a good solid 8 hours. So I appreciate it. You came in, you gave me a shoulder, and this is the spirit of the team. The conversation will continue, nothing personal. Let us hope for the best. And all of us, we are on a quest for peace. Peace wherever we are. So to Let Us Talk viewer, we want to thank you for your time, for your support. As we keep saying, without you, ما هنعرف نقعد 4 ساعات 5 ساعات 6 ساعات 8 ساعات. لكن you give us the energy, you encourage us, you inspire us, and we appreciate it. We are learning from your comment. We are learning from our panelists always. During this conversation, if for whatever reason we said something that you felt you are offended, please find a place in your heart to forgive us. This is part of our disclaimer. We do it on every single show. And also, Brother Lamb took us by surprise. That was the same thing with his message. We are very grateful. We appreciate everybody who came in. Brother from Italia, Labut, priest to be, Brother Lam, Brother Odysseus, and whoever came, those of God, those of earlier. So it is well appreciated, and also those who are interacting with us through the comment. So come again. We pick different topic, and give us the privilege to learn from you. Give us privilege to hear your voice, to get the other opinion as well. Abu Layla, good to see you. You are here. This conversation will continue. To Abu Nasab Dominic, who is behind the keyboard super actively as well. This is a great spirit. We appreciate your time, guys. God bless you. And as we learn from Brother Lam also, we have to bless this beautiful country, South Sudan. God bless South Sudan, and this conversation will continue. Thank you very much, Brother Ndirinda, for your support, for your brotherhood. You are a true brother keeper. Let me borrow Dominic word. We look forward to have a healthy debate. But by the way, Dominic, also, since you are here, be prepared, because we are about to launch that
names project. Yeah,
we are about to launch that موسوعة بتاعت الأسامي الجنوبية, the good names only, not the bad one. So 100%, maybe if it is within the next 2 weeks, 100%, we are preparing. We are compiling name from our side also, so that when we launch it effectively, we deposit something into that reference whereby people can access it. Abu Layla also, you said already, Al-Asami Bitat Fajulu, you do have them. So you are ready, so get ready. And people from the other community, whoever is here, Abraham Madut, if you want to be part of it, you want to compile some Dinka's name, good Dinka's name, we don't, we don't need those names disgracing to human being. I mean, I Gabila, like Finoshikil name in different Gabila, the Egal Nom Sultan, so what is it? Anyway, thank you very much. And I believe Dunya Karabu, and it is Masulia Batadna Jamian al Assassino, we try to make it better, how are we gonna fix this dunya? Collectively, we can make it better. If we never enjoyed, our kids will come and enjoy that fruit. That's about أجدادنا زرعوا شجر بتاع دليب ما في زول زرع دليب وأكل الثمر بتاعه. So this is the little take. Bye bye wherever you are.
Yeah.
Masuma